Personally, my favorite way to formulate with vitamin C is by using ingredients that are vitamin C derivatives. Vitamin C derivatives are essentially ascorbic acid, vitamin C, that has been chemically modified to be more stable and also less irritating on the skin. So that means vitamin C derivatives aren't as sensitive to light or oxygen, which makes them so much easier to formulate with. And luckily, there are EcoCert's vitamin C derivatives. So the downside to these vitamin C derivatives is that there really isn't as much data backing up the claims of these ingredients as opposed to L-ascorbic acid. There's been a lot of research done using L-ascorbic acid, and just because L-ascorbic acid has been proven to offer antioxidant protection, help with pigmentation, help boost collagen, that doesn't mean any of these derivatives also do that. A lot of my information I got about these vitamin C derivatives, about the benefits they offer to the skin, I actually got from a blog called Chemist Confessions. I actually have their book. I've mentioned it on my video all about books to learn how to formulate. If you want to check out that video, I've read their book actually all the way through. Really like them. They're very, very informative. First vitamin C derivative I want to talk about is Magnesium Ascorbyl Phosphate, also known as MAP. So according to a survey I conducted on my Instagram, this seems to be my followers' favorite vitamin C derivative to formulate with. Let me know what your favorite vitamin C derivative is down below. So I actually found this vitamin C derivative, MAP, to be my least favorite to formulate with because I ran into some stability issues while using it, and we'll get into that. First, MAP has been proven to work as a skin brightener. Also, in one study, MAP accelerated collagen production and assembly in wound healing. But according to the Chemist Confessions blog that I was just talking about, MAP doesn't have the best track record getting absorbed by skin. They also suggest to use it twice a day consistently. Formulating with MAP, this information comes from lotioncrafter.com. It is a white to off-white powder. It is water soluble. It's light and oxygen stable. The pH of this ingredient when you dissolve it in water is around 6 to 7. It may discolor in pH levels below 6, so keep the final product's pH between 6 to 7. It's stable at 80 degrees Celsius, that's 176 degrees Fahrenheit, for up to 20 hours. So you can put this in the heated water phase and it's totally fine. If you're having trouble dissolving MAP, you want to heat it to 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, or hotter if you can. Obviously, don't let it go past 176 degrees Fahrenheit. But yeah, if you're having trouble dissolving it, heat up your water, mix it up, and that'll help dissolve it. Its recommended usage rate is 0.2% to 3%, up to 10%. And this ingredient, MAP, is not considered natural or EcoCert. I purchased my MAP from lotioncrafter.com, and here is some other information from their website under the formulating guidelines that I want to mention. One study indicates that MAP might be needed at a concentration of 10% to be effective at inhibiting melanin production. MAP appears to have the same potential to boost skin collagen synthesis as does ascorbic acid, but at lower concentrations. For those with sensitive skin or those wanting to avoid the exfoliating effects of highly acidic ascorbic acid, MAP may be the preferred choice. Let's talk about my experience with MAP. I thought this was going to be the easiest vitamin C derivative to use because its natural pH when dissolved is only between 6 to 7, and the product's final pH needs to be between 6 to 7, so no pH adjusting is needed. So my first issue of just simply trying to dissolve the MAP, it chunked up in the formulation. I poured it in all at once. That's where I messed up. And it just chunked up on the bottom. I even heated it up. And no matter what, I could not get it to break up. I tried again. I made sure my water was nice and hot. And then I poured in just a little bit of MAP at a time. And at these experiments, I'm doing 10% MAP and distilled water. Great, it worked out just fine. But I came back the next day and all the MAP was on the bottom. It wasn't mixed in anymore. That was annoying. So I wanted to try some more experiments, like maybe adding in just some solvents to help keep it dissolved, but I didn't have enough MAP to keep doing experiments with 10% MAP. So instead I was like, all right, why don't we try using less MAP and see if that will stay dissolved? It did not recrystallize. It didn't settle to the bottom. It stayed dissolved. Anyway, let's talk about the final formula I came up with MAP. We're gonna make a MAP, so that's a Magnesium Ascorbyl Phosphate serum. Remember, this is not EcoCert or natural. So here's the formula we're working with. Phase A is honestly, it's just the phase where we're dissolving the MAP, and that the sodium EDTA is a chelating agent. I actually did a post on Patreon, and it's actually on my YouTube channel too, but you have to be a member to watch it, all about chelating agents. You wanna watch that? Go watch that. There's also a video by the Institute of Personal Care Science. They talk about chelating agents too. That would also be helpful. But a chelating agent is super, super important when working with these vitamin C derivatives or vitamin C. It helps keep your product more stable, but overall, chelating agents are super important. The second phase, phase B, is just the preservative and the solubilizer to keep the preservative mixed in, because this is an EcoCert compliant preservative, Euxyl K900, but it doesn't mix into water. You need some kind of solvent to mix it in. And I use polysucamose D9, which is also EcoCert, to mix it in. Then phase C is propanediol. You could also use glycerin if you want. And then the hyaluronic acid. I'm using a blend of the ultra low molecular weight hyaluronic acid to get the benefits of the hyaluronic acid, since that absorbs in the skin well. And then I use 0.5% high molecular weight hyaluronic acid to get that viscosity building from it. And that's like my favorite blend to use of hyaluronic acids, is like half and half of the high molecular weight and ultra low molecular weight. Get like a perfect serum consistency that I really like. And since we're about to make a serum, I actually want to mention my video all about serums. Maybe it's over here, but it deep dives in the serums, and we'll talk a lot about these ingredients I'm working with in this video, well, about to work with. And it will just help you understand how to formulate your own serum from scratch, and probably how to modify some of these serums formulas too. For this product, we are going to make a 100 gram batch, and I'm starting with phase A. So first things first, I have 88.9 grams of distilled water in my beaker. Make sure your beakers are sanitized, all your equipment. And I have it heated to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I actually heated it up using my hot plates, and it's essentially just like a plate surface that will heat whatever you have on it. And then I added in 0.3 grams of the sodium EDTA. This is the chelating agent. It dissolves so easily, and it's heat safe. So you can just mix it in, dissolve it, bam, move on. And now it's time to add in the MAP. Add in just a little bit at a time, mix it in, a little bit more, mix it in, or else it'll all chunk up and you won't be able to get it to dissolve. So patience is key, but here I am showing you where I messed up. This is the 10% one. And look, it's so chunky on the bottom. I could not get it to dissolve. I tried to heat it up. I let it sit for a few days. It never happened. This is what I want to show you what I actually did. I took my magnetic bean and I put it in my beaker. This is my hot plate. It's a hot plate and a magnetic stir. It stirs for me, so I don't have to use my hand and make my hand tired. I'm putting pictures on the screen of hot plates and magnetic stir. This is the one I specifically have. It's $130 on Amazon. I love it. And yeah, it heats stuff up and it mixes at the same time, and it saves my arm because I have thoracic outlet syndrome now from mixing all the time and being on the computer. Using this method actually makes it so much easier to add in the MAP a little bit at a time and mix it at the same time. That's kind of why I'm showing you guys this. So if you are deciding to sell a product with this and you're making like bigger batches, using a magnetic stir and hot plate would make the process a lot easier. And they do have different size magnetic beans. I'm just using one of the smaller ones. And yeah, it just mixes and mixes and mixes, so you don't have to do it. Now, moving on to phase B. We're gonna have a different container here. I got 1 gram of the Euxyl K900. This is an EcoCert compliant preservative. And I'm adding in 1 gram of the polysucamose D9. This is a EcoCert compliant solubilizer. So this will help keep the Euxyl K900 mixed into the formula, and it won't separate out because it's not 100% water soluble, has issues with it. So I went ahead and poured my phase B into phase A. If the preservative you use is heat sensitive, make sure your phase A is cooled down. Euxyl K900 is actually like not heat sensitive. It's heat sensitive in like a really, really high temperature that your product probably won't get to. I should probably see just in case. Yeah, Euxyl K900 has a maximum use temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? That has to be 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, you gotta get it pretty hot to destabilize it. That is why I like that preservative a lot. We're moving on to phase C now. So phase C, I'm actually grabbing a whole other container. And I added in 5 grams of propanediol. This is a humectant. And I'm adding in, again, like I mentioned earlier, 2 different hyaluronic acids, high molecular weight and low molecular weight. High molecular weight will thicken this product a little bit, and the low molecular weight hyaluronic acid does penetrate into the skin better. Some people do experience irritation from hyaluronic acid, so if that's the case, leave this out and you can actually use a different thickener that we'll talk about later in this video, or go watch my serums deep dive video for all other serum thickening suggestions. Or honestly, you don't even have to thicken the serum if you don't want to. You You can just keep it a watery solution. That's totally fine too. But anyway, I added all of the hyaluronic acids into my bowl of propanediol and mixed it all up. You could use glycerin instead of propanediol if you want, or propylene glycol. Now we're back over to our phase A/B. If your product still hasn't cooled, make sure it has cooled to at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit or lower now before you add in the hyaluronic acid. And then just pour in your phase C hyaluronic acids into your phase A/B and mix. And once it's fully returned to room temperature, you can check and adjust the pH, because again, temperature does affect pH. So when you take the pH of your product, make sure it's fully cooled down. And the final pH of this product today was 6.5. I say today because sometimes your product's pH can drift. So I always recommend taking the pH again the next day, maybe even a week after or a month after, just to make sure it stays the same. So I removed the magnetic bean and I covered it and I let it sit overnight. I kind of just like letting my products sit overnight a lot of times before I bottle them up, just to let them like settle. There we go. I filled up my 1/2 ounce bottles, and that's what the serum looks like. It has a gorgeous consistency because, like I said, this is like my favorite type of serum to make for myself. All I can say is that I personally love this. I like it a lot. I don't have anything negative to say about it. It's just a basic, simple serum that will hydrate your skin, give you those MAP benefits, and I recommend putting it on damp skin. Whenever you get out of the shower, just apply the serum right on your skin while it's still damp. Let it soak up, and then follow with your moisturizer. And you're free to use this serum in the AM or the PM or both. So my final thoughts on MAP. Overall, I think this is an easy ingredient compared to L-ascorbic acid, right? I think we all can agree on that. But it's super annoying that it's hard to keep 10% dissolved. But it is great that MAP does have some data to back up that it can help with collagen and hyperpigmentation. But since you need to use it at such a high amount for it to be effective, and 10% is so hard to keep dissolved, it makes the derivative just a little too annoying for it to be my favorite. So if you do decide to use MAP, try to use as close to 10% as possible. Use it twice a day. I imagine there's a way to keep the 10% dissolved. Obviously, I didn't have enough MAP to do enough experiments because 10% is a lot and I only had little bags. I didn't have enough, but if you've been able to keep 10% MAP dissolved in a serum, let me know.
Also, don't forget to go over and check out my Patreon, where I post 2 exclusive videos every single month. So there is a ton of videos you can go over and binge watch for only $5 a month. Also, if you don't have access to Patreon in your country, you can sign up as a YouTube member instead. If you sign up for the $10 tier on my Patreon, you get a shout out for your small business. I'll have all these brands linked below. HB Royal Retreat store on Etsy, naturesfarmgirl.com, Let's Blend LLC, at Stardust Bath and Body, hempygirl.com, shoplevis.com, Owl and Lily over on Etsy, Skin Lounge Co. over on Etsy, blackpetalbeauty.com, embracebeautyessentials.com, legendarybathandbody.com, astariapothecary.com, Reviga Cosmetics here on YouTube, exorebb.com, pardonaturals.com, naturalstateskin.com, thenatureinnus.ca, nearcatalier.com. Use the code on the screen for 20% off. earthandambernaturals.com, sharkcitynaturals.com, daytorelaxproducts.com, crownedgloryllc.com, lhscentedsoapsandmore.com, JanaeRose.com, Health Nut Beauty on Etsy, VelvetTemptations.com, JourneyRoseBeauty.com, CHRBrands.com, Homestead Life Goods on Etsy, CanellaBathandBody.com, MadhouseMamaSoaps.com, Expo.com, Mystical Morning on Etsy, 7th House and Oak on Etsy, and mycrownandglory.com. Thank you so much for you guys' support. Without you guys over on Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So thank you so much.